All right, I just finished watching Superman. I thought it was all right. I don't know if I like the tone that this DCU is going, but it's James Gunn. I don't know if the character of Superman is the character that can be like a Guardians of the Galaxy kind of style, kind of humor, but that's what he did. But I don't know. I thought it was all right. I'll give a more in-depth review later. Everyone, I just watched Superman last night. As you can see from my initial reaction when I was walking out of the theater there, I I didn't like it that much. I didn't favor it that much. But after sleeping and kind of just mulling it over in my head a little bit, there's things that I do like a lot in the film. There's still some gripes that I do have with it, but there's a lot that I do appreciate and I do like. I'm not gonna just bend the knee to everybody's reviews that they're putting out, and a lot of people are praising this film and they are really enjoying it. And I don't want to kind of knock on them either, but there are things that just didn't work for me in the film. But I'm just gonna give you a little synopsis of the film really quick. This is not an origin story of Superman. This story kind of starts where he is actually experiencing his first loss in his superheroing career. Lex Luthor is initiating his takedown of Superman. He is been planning and plotting for a long time to take out Superman, and he's implementing his plans in this at this point of the movie. Lois and Clark have been dating for a while. She knows who he is already. As a reporter, it only makes sense that she knows who Superman is. Otherwise, she's a bad reporter. But they've been dating for a while already. He's established himself as... Clark Kent has established himself as the one that interviews Superman. He's the one that gets the ins on Superman. And he's pretty much just interviewing himself. And so a lot of the interviews that he's been giving himself is not like hard-hitting interviews or anything like that. So there's a certain point where Lois, if you saw the trailer, Lois interviews him and he gets a little emotional about it. And I'm just going to kind of lay that out for you. Now, obviously, Lex Luthor is the bad guy. He is doing something. He's trying to eliminate Superman. He's trying to kill Superman. In the end, does this movie work for me? Like, oh, also there's Krypto. Krypto looks really great too. Krypto's an addition to the mythos of who Superman is in comics. And yeah, I think it works. I think Krypto looks great. He's CGI the whole time. If he wasn't CGI the whole time, it would be a little jarring to see him in some scenes where he's not, obviously he is CGI, but when he's not CGI, you're kind of like, you can see the differences. And so they made him CGI the whole time, which is great, which is fine. And we're in the day and age where that's possible without it looking too jarring. Obviously he is, because he's doing super dog things. But he's a great inclusion in the film. I'm going to just go ahead and rate this now. I'm not going to give you any spoilers of this film. Obviously, this film is trying to reestablish the DC universe. And so, do I think this film works? For the most part, I think it works for what it is. I don't think it works in some regard because Superman feels like Superman. But the universe in itself, it doesn't feel like Superman's... The comedic stuff doesn't feel very Superman-ish. Like, I know that James Gunn has picked a lot of IP in the past because they were unknown. Like, Peacemaker's kind of unknown. And even when John Cena was like, okay, let me figure out who Peacemaker is, James Gunn told him, don't read any Peacemaker comics. It's going to ruin what I'm trying to do for you as Peacemaker. And so James Gunn kind of likes to mold things in what he thinks what he thinks might be entertaining. And he's great. He's great at entertaining. He did that with Suicide Squad. He did it with Bloodsport. He did that with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Nobody knew who they were. And with the MCU, nobody really cared about Iron Man. People knew him. People knew kind of his origin story. But Robert Downey Jr. pretty much made Iron Man who he was, gave him personality. And most of the people that are Iron Man fans, they weren't fans of Iron Man in comics. They're MCU Iron Man fans. They're not like comic book fans. And so the problem with Superman is there's been so many iterations and so many versions and so many TV shows and movies about this character that there's expectation there. Iron Man, there was barely any expectation. You know, with Superman, I mean, the reason there was pretty much no origin story is because everybody knows who Superman is, you know? And everybody knows his story. Everybody knows his weaknesses, things like that. Not all of his weaknesses, but most, the one weakness, kryptonite. And so this movie was fine. I'm going to start rating it now. I'm going to rate the sound design. I would give it a 4. It was really good. The sound, the visuals were really good. The visuals I'm going to give a 5. The design of I'm going to do the design of characters in a little bit, but the visuals I'm going to give a 5. It was good visuals. The all the creatures and the powers and the battles look great. The action I'm going to give it a 5 as well. The action was really fun. I wish there was a little bit more action, but Superman stuff was fun. Green Lantern stuff, Hawkgirl stuff, Mr. Terrific stuff was fun. And even Crypto stuff was enjoyable. And so it was fun to see them kind of be super. Story, I'm going to give the story a 3. It's not a complex story in any means. But it does immerse Superman's mythos into the culture of today and what he would be experiencing if he was a person living in today's day and age with social media and the way that the news operates and the way that geopolitics kind of is thrown at us consistently. And so let's see. And the characters. So the story I'm going to give you a 3. Characters, I would say, lends itself to the story a lot more too. The characters, I'm going to give it a 2.5. Maybe a 2. I'm going to give it a 2. Yeah, sounds right. I'm going to give it a 2. Mostly because a lot of the characters did not seem believable to me. And that's my gripe with a lot of stuff is like these. I just don't believe him as a person. I don't believe him as a character. Like, could I believe there's characters like at the Daily Planet that the actors seem like they are playing characters, not like the actors are becoming those characters. They seem like they're playing characters, not becoming the characters when they're acting. And so with Perry White always having a cigar, just trying to be Perry White, their motivations, their aspirations as characters, I just don't see it. I see it like cartoon characters always wearing the same clothes all the time. I see like Perry having a cigar all the time, kind of like that, where they're just like characters. They're not like people. And that's what I think they need to like be able to translate so that I can believe the story a little bit more. So those characters in Daily Planet, they seem more like people. Even Lex Luthor, being a smart individual, analytical, intelligent. I know he's egotistical. I know he's envious. His motivations didn't translate well for me, just because I'm like, a smart person I don't feel like would be as emotional as he was and is in the movie. And so and I thought he was ridiculous. Obviously he's ridiculous, but I thought that his character in itself didn't act like a smart, intelligent person. They acted like a emotional child, like a baby. Maybe I would say like an older child acting like a baby when the second child came along, started pissing and whining and crying. I thought he acted like that more than anything else. I didn't think he acted like an intelligent person. Granted, he did go about his plans and his plots in intelligent ways, but I thought he acted like a petulant child. And so And there were some scenes that didn't work for me too. But there was a scene like it was like a Hulk smash Loki scene that I was like, oh yeah, this is just a rehashing of that kind of moment. And so there's a lot of superhero movies out there nowadays, and so it's hard not to compare. Um, and you want to be able to watch this as a standalone film and not have to compare, but it's impossible not to. And so, did I enjoy this movie? I mean, I enjoyed it for the most part. Do I think it was perfect? I don't think it was perfect. Do I think it's going to become something that builds the DC universe up into to $1 billion franchise like Marvel became? No, I don't think so. I think they're gonna make their money back. I don't think they're gonna make as much profit off these films as they need to launch a franchise in that manner. Yeah. Overall, I rate this 3.5. It's passing. Some of the costume designs, I'm gonna do the costume character together. The costumes for Superman, they looked okay. Like they didn't look amazing. All the superhero costumes, they all looked like they were manufactured at the same company. Like they all bought it at J. Crew or something like that, or they all bought it at Gap. They were like, oh, is this, here's a superhero store. Let's buy our costumes here. Whereas I'm like, okay, like yes, they are all superheroes, but Superman's costume should look more alien. It shouldn't look so standard. And I know the other team of superheroes, they are working as an organized team, and so their costumes should line up a little bit more. But man, like I just thought the costumes didn't look great. The torso part didn't make Superman look super, because the whole idea of Superman and superheroes is because they look jacked, and I don't think that Superman suit made him look jacked. The whole idea is they are super. They're supposed to look super, and so I don't think those superhero suits made them look that way, at all. It did look like the Christopher Reeve Superman suit, which is great, but it didn't make them look super. But yeah, overall fun film. I did really like Rachel as Lois, and I did really like David Cornsweet as Superman and Clark. I think he did a great job in both identities. And I really liked Lois. Rachel, I think she's really pretty too, and so that she really worked, and I think she has the right tone for the character, and I think she presents the character really well. So, but there's a lot to drive off of. There's so many iterations of her. I think she drew from like the Superman and Lois TV show that was just recently done. But yeah, overall great film. It was enjoyable, fun. I know that some people are gonna kind of bash me on some stuff, maybe that I didn't like, but yeah, those are my thoughts. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. We'll see you guys again next time.